Hi, I'm so excited about this week's 50 books 1 year review. This is like the book I really wanted to review, and I have to say that that reading book reviews matters. I have to say, if I had read the book reviews on this book, I don't think I would have read the book. The book I really wanted to, I've been so looking forward to reviewing for you, is called Flowers in the Attic by V.C.Andrews. And this is the cover, yet again on my iPad, sorry about that. I'd never heard of this book before. It is a series, and I'm sure that if I had heard of it, maybe I still again wouldn't have read it, but I did. So I started to read it. So the story itself is from the perspective of the main character called Kathy, and she's about 12 in the book, but it goes through a little bit of background and talks a bit about her family and what they're like, and she has a mum and a dad and an older brother two younger siblings, and they're twins. And so what happens is that they've kind of lived this quite happy existence. And what I really struggled a lot with in this book was that I didn't know what time the book was set in. There was no talk about the internet or television or anything in that beginning part. And the way the character talks, she uses phrases like golly lolly, and it kind of makes you think, like, oh, it must be an older book or whatever. It must be set early 19th century or something like that, and they talk about the extravagance of their lifestyle and stuff, that they lead a really extravagant life. This kind of gets disturbed when the father is in a car accident. He's been killed in a car accident. It's pretty heartbreaking and awful. And then in the middle of the night, the mother kind of gathers up the kids and says, we're gonna go and live with her mother, so their grandmother, and that she's been writing to the grandmother, and she's finally heard that it's okay for them to go and live there. And it kind of unravels a bit that the mother has really been exceeded the money they have. She's been living in a lifestyle that's far too extravagant than they could afford, and basically everything in their house is going to be repossessed. And so they decide to gather as much as they can and to sneak out in the middle of the night and take all of these kids. And the mother talks about how wealthy her parents are and how they're going to have this amazing life. They're going to live in this great big house, have everything they've ever wanted and more. Get there, and they're all kind of shuffled into this room and told they have to stay there. They get locked in this room, all 4 kids, and they have to stay in there and stuff, and then it just gets really random. The mother basically kind of explains that they're going to have to live hidden away in this house, which is so big that they can have 4 children hidden and no one would apparently know, whatever, to hide there so that the mother can either gain back the trust of the father, which apparently she's broken somewhere along the line because she's done something that we don't know about yet, which is really kind of like, ooh, what did she do? She has to either earn back kind of the trust, because she kind of got disinherited from the family, which is really scandalous and exciting, or wait for the father to die, and apparently he's like on his deathbed or something like that, and then they can kind of be released into the house to do what they wish. Without giving too much away, the book is called Flowers in the Attic, and it says on the back of the book, and if you read, what the book is about, that the kids get locked away for a long time. So they get locked away and kind of constantly getting promised about all of these things that are gonna never really seem to happen. The mother starts to distance herself more and more from her kids. She is allowed to be in the house and to benefit from the wealth of her parents, but somehow she keeps from her father the secret that the kids are there. The grandmother knows, but she'll keep it a secret as well. I have to give it to this book because it didn't do what I thought it would do. There are some things that the grandmother does that are crazy as hell. The way it's written is you'll just throw your hands up like, this is crazy. Unfortunately, the book is incredibly slow moving. How much story can you really build around 4 kids stuck in an attic? To compensate for the whole like lack of story, they add this really bizarre romance into the story, and I have to say it made me uncomfortable. Like I don't think I'm super precious, or that I'm like on this shelf of perfection, and that I'm unaware of what happens in the world, but she added in a romance between the older brother and the main character, which is his younger sister. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? I understand that this is 2016, and when this book was written was not that long ago, and we're progressive and all this other stuff, but there has to be a line drawn in the sand of humanity of this book, and it made me ridiculously uncomfortable. I was so excited to talk with you guys about this book because I wanted, like, if I just couldn't believe it, and I felt very uncomfortable reading it, the way she wrote about her brother and the things that, yeah, I can't. Why did no one tell me? I have to tell you though, if you go to Goodreads and you look at this title on Goodreads, you must read the reviews because they are hilarious. My rating that I gave this book on Goodreads, I think I was a little bit more generous with this rating, and I don't even know if I still stand by this rating, but I did give it 3 stars, and I think I gave it a higher rating than really what it deserved because the book did keep me entertained. It kept me captivated. Not the brother and sister relationship, that did not entertain me, that disturbed me. Until that didn't happen until much later on in the story, and up until that point I felt like I was really connecting with the characters, and I felt like it was a coming of age story, and I loved that, and I was really into it, and then that happened and it just lost me. The book lost me entirely. The whole last kind of quarter of the book, maybe even before that, was just, it really let it down. I feel like it was a cop-out for an ending. I don't know how this is a series. I think there are 4 books, and one of them is a prequel about the mother before, when she's younger. There is like a tiny like 5% part of me that would lean towards reading the other books, but I cannot get past the incest relationship. I would have to say I do not recommend this book. If you see a young person anywhere in the world with this book in their hand, you tell them that they would be much better off reading the book that I reviewed last week, We Were Liars. Go and watch the review. Give it 3 stars. Let me know if you've read this book, what you thought about it. Apparently she's a New York Times best-selling author. It is like, it does keep you reading it, but at what cost? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's review, and make sure that that you're following the books that I'm reading on Goodreads. You follow me on Instagram. Those are the apps, the social media stuff that I would be using the most. Make sure you follow those. Everything will be down below. If you want to buy the book, I'll put a link for it down below as well. But I wouldn't spend my money again on this. I wouldn't even give this book away. You know, I give books away that I pass them on because I'm like, this is a good book, you'll like it. But I wouldn't do that with this book. I'll see you guys in the next video.